my sheets or no?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you're having a really wonderful day. This is my longtime pal, Dr. Christina Bacati. Christy, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I saw when you did your interview, and I was like, what about me here? I've been your longtime friend. I go to all your classes. Like, what's getting? So I'm like, I would jump me on here. So,
well, here you are. So Christy and I went to Logan College of Chiropractic together 100 years ago. I know we don't look 100, but we've been at this game of chiropractic and entrepreneurship, and we've been through motherhood together and marriage together and all kinds of stuff. You name it, and we've talked about it. So it's super exciting that we also are now going to get to be in Sedona together. So Christy said yes to our now sold out women's Rejuvenation retreat in Sedona, November 6th through the 9th. And so we're going to be talking about that today. So Christy, to start with, when women gather together in safe spaces without masks, without competition, without judgment, all of the things that we're known to do, what shifts become possible that success on paper can never create?
I want to say if you create a safe place, which you always do, that's where you can let your guard down and be your authentic self, be vulnerable. You get to open up more, feel secure in whatever you have to say. You're going to say it and it's going to be heard. You get to collaborate with other women. So I like that. Other intelligent, authentic women, because that's only your tribe is authentic women. So I love that.
Yeah.
You get to find common ground in struggles. Talk about your, hurts, traumas, business, whatever. Just be open and safe. And that's something there's something to be said for being in a safe place and being able to open up and discuss and then collaborate about it and then hear other people's experiences. And that's how you get to grow.
I love that you laid it out like as almost a prescription, right? That when we're vulnerable, then we're able to be like, hey, this thing is going on in my life that maybe back home we don't talk to anyone about. Sometimes we don't even talk to our spouses about those things, right? I know sometimes it feels like, and men, this is not a bash to you. It's just how God made you, that you want to fix things and make things better. And I know that we're very strange to you men in that you're like, why don't you want it fixed? Right? We're like,
They just talk and you're like, I just want to be heard. And I want it to be safe. And I don't want it used against me later. And like, I guess, and whenever you hold something, you're so big on, we're all in this together. There isn't I feel like when I've gone to some other places, like it's the competition, and competition stifles safety and creativity. And so when you can feel safe, now you've just created a larger space to be more open. And that's where growth can occur instead of it shutting down when you're not feeling safe and secure. Yeah. And so all of your events, you make sure that people are safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
I wanted to tell you that. I mean, I've been friends with you a long time, but I've gone to how many of your events?
Yeah.
So I wanted to give that to you. You do well with that.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the prescription that you kind of laid out was we create a safe space. Then we let our guard down, right? Like we make sure that we're not an amygdala hijack, stressed, worried, bored, concerned, or feeling trapped. Because if we're in that state, then we knock our prefrontal cortex offline, right? No logic, no problem solving, no empathy, no listening, and no reasoning. So now we're in this state where we can share, and it's really so beautiful. So you said we get vulnerable, then we share and we collaborate. And that's where we can grow, right? Mm-hmm. So when we're in a safe space and we take the mask down, I can be like, hey, Christy, this is stuff I'm going through. And then Christy's like, oh my gosh, I've
Me
been
too.
there too. And this is how I navigated that, right? Not to say how you have to do it this way, but it gives insights for that growth. When we stay locked, those things just continue to be like the pebble in our shoe, right? And it shows up in our marriages, it shows up in with our children, it shows up in our ability to make impact and all of that. So the more that we can clear out, the
Release.
faster that we can grow.
The more we can release, then
Yeah.
there's more space to grow and have love and compassionate
Yeah.
towards another person. When you hang on to stuff, you're hanging on to it, and that stuff just keeps festering. It's like a snowball going down, just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you just keep dragging it around.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you know what, I'm going to release that. Now you're like, oh, I can think clearer. I can show compassion. I can have empathy. Oh, I've experienced that here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you just touched on such an important one. When we don't feel safe inside our being, and not even in a group, but just overall, it's very difficult to show compassion, right? Like the scared, I think of a bear.
Yes.
You scare a bear, that bear isn't going to have compassion because now it's like, fight or flight, right? Or even us, when we're in fight or flight, we're not going to be compassionate. So it's another invitation to get our mental mess cleaned up so that we can express compassion, right? And certainly you can fake compassion, but not for very long, because the nerve system is going to pick up. Like if I can't show compassion, your nerve system is going to pick that up through the mirror neuron system, right? So faking it is just exhausting. So Chrissy, let me ask you something. When you slowed down from the constant achievement, what emotions showed up first, and how did you work with them instead of running from them? And we need a little context here of what's happened in your life over the last 5 years. So give context and then answer that question.
Okay. So 3.5 years ago, during COVID, I didn't feel it was safe for my kids up there in New York. And so we moved to Florida, bought a place, got them into high school down here. And I was commuting back and forth to my practice up in Buffalo. And I can say this online, that's where I felt like my world was so out of control. And that's where I tightened the clenches on my practice, on my home life. And you know what? The harder you hang on, the more you push away. And I talked to you then. And now I'm in such a state of, I sit with it. I just be. I don't have to do. I don't have to act. Let me just sit. So I walk every morning. So I live in Florida. So yes, we have grass. It's a little soaking wet right now, but I walk in it and I just sit with, what am I feeling? Let me feel what I'm feeling. No thoughts. What am I feeling? And the more grounded and connected I got to myself, the more things opened up.
Yes. Let's just let that land for a minute. That when we're like this, like white knuckle in our life, it's not going to feel safe. There's not going to be opening. And then you did this. And so
I did.
And so
I let go of the
share with everyone what happened. Going between New York and Florida. Chaos.
And it wasn't controlled. It was out of control, spinning out of control. Like I just wanted more control. Like, what was my stats for the office? And are the kids doing this in school? Are they into this? Oh, we got to get them in this sports. Oh, aren't you hanging out with that friend? And I just,
control.
And control is not the answer. It's actually releasing control. And, the Mel Robbins, let them be who they are, and they will show you. And I've been there probably for the past 6 months. I've been working on me, sitting, just being. Like I'm just sitting here enjoying now, looking at the palm trees, just like, wow, look at the breeze and how they sit and how they move. And that's actually how it should be in life. It doesn't mean that I'm not ambitious. I don't know what the drive was to think the more control you had, that was better leadership. when you release a lot of the control, you bring people in and they want to go with you and help you. The more control
Yeah.
you have, the more you push away.
Which seems so counterintuitive, right? Like, I think we often think of leaders as like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. But a leader is really someone who holds space so others can grow into their
Holding
own.
space. That is our new family mantra now. We hold space.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, it's between my husband, my two sons. We just hold space, say what you got to say, and just listen.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they want an answer. They just want to be heard. And you got to, how does that make you feel? What's it smell like? What's it taste like? What's it feel like? Help me hear you. I want to experience what you're going through.
Yeah.
And that has made such a huge difference in our whole household. My kids are even closer to us than they've ever been. I see our friendships with our friends. Like, you know how some of them are like, okay, you just notice, okay, we can talk to them about this. But then other ones you can get deep and I still feel safe and vulnerable.
Nice. That's so awesome.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so just to clarify, you know, you said it's almost like the pendulum, right? Like, yes, here we are driving hard, go, control, yes, like more. And then we like kind of wake up and we go way over here. And then we kind of find our rhythm. I don't want to say balance because that's a misnomer. Right. Our rhythm.
Well, you kind of go back and forth. Here's like here's far, here's this, and you're kind of in here. And it kind of can go this way a little bit and go this way. But all of us use our keep your peace at all cost. That is our line in our family. Are you keeping your peace?
Nice.
Your peace.
Yeah.
It's going to be a person. It's going to be a situation. It's going to be an event. It's going to be, there is something every day, and it could be hourly for a long time. As long as we say, did you find your center? Okay.
Nice.
Like we burn sage here. I see the boys go out in the grass and they're grounding. You know what? Do you need anything? No, I'm good, Mom. Okay. Like, yeah. I don't know. We're so much more into being and not pushing and not wanting. You can't make another person think, say, or do what you want.
Nope.
And
we sure give it a go, though.
Watch. Sit and notice. That's our line. Did you sit and notice?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's so interesting. You know, we have this idea in Western culture that there is better than here. So if I do these things, then I'll get there. And then when I get there, then I'll feel peaceful. Then I'll feel successful. Then
the destination's going to keep moving.
Well, yeah. And it's a misunderstanding about where our experience of life comes from, because when you get there, when you hit the next goal, when you buy the house, when you get married, when you have the child, when they leave your house, like, you know, like when those things happen, we're still the ones that create the experience that we want to have, whether that's happy or joyful or peaceful or satisfied or mad or angry or whatever. Like, it's not something out there. It's all in here. And I wish I would have understood that a long time ago. I mean, the present is always perfect and the universe never lies. So it's all good. But there's this, when we're striving, that's what we're striving for, right? Is to get to this place of just being. And the reality is that we can come from being instead of feeling like we have to get to being. So how much of your past success was wired to stress? You know, so much of your past success was wired to stress and drama. What did you discover about yourself when those patterns weren't driving your day anymore?
It's peace. It's peace. I enjoy everything now. I enjoy my cup of coffee. I appreciate the food I'm eating. I appreciate the moment we're having dinner and my husband just reaches over and just holds my hand and stop and like, it's a moment.
Yeah.
And I'm having far more moments of just peacefulness than I've probably ever experienced in the past 50 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, something that I think was true, especially when you were in Buffalo, was you were a breath away from a fight, whether that was with an employee or, someone at a red light or your husband or a family member. It was just like, just give me an excuse and I'm going to
I don't have that.
Unhinged.
I don't have that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, well, now that I can sit, I sit, and you have to think too, when you sit, like you think about a lot of anybody's issues are basically from childhood. I don't want to say childhood traumas. I mean, I know there's massive traumas, but how your parents and how you interact with your parents and your siblings is basically what you learn from them is how you bring forth here. Mm-hmm. And so right now we're trying to break some generational ways of doing things, of parenting. That's the reason why we hold space where, that's not how I was raised. That's not how my husband was raised. So we're coming more together of like, what's best to raise our children. And I see it like my husband owns his own company. And once he released control and he brought them in, and not just like meetings, like I brought them in of like, we have a higher purpose here.
Yeah.
Like our product is this, and we're going to deliver it the best on time, all those things. But when you found it collaborative and open, and he was vulnerable, like, yeah, last year I made some mistakes. He is just a different person also in the past 6 months. He has grown. And then it grows our marriage, and then it grows our relationship with our kids. And then I see the relationship with our extended family. Like, how should I say that? Not attractive physically, attractive emotionally. We are bringing in more people into our lives. And they're like, how are you guys doing this? Just, you know what? Taking space, offering space, and taking and listening and just sitting with it. You don't always have to give a response. Nothing's urgency. That's what's your line. Nothing's an emergency.
Right. Hey, Christy, just 1 second. Yeah. I have to pause this. Okay. So
I'm enjoying the stillness.
Yeah.
That's what I'm enjoying.
That it doesn't take two to have a great relationship. And I want to give credit to Dr. David Croxford, who he and I coached together back in 2021, 2022. And we were having a conversation, and then we allowed silence to do the lifting. Like, I asked him a question and he just sat in silence. Just such a beautiful space. And he came back and said, it doesn't take two to have a great relationship. And he was specifically speaking about he and his father, and how that insight, like one insight can totally change life, right? And so that insight then fostered, now they have an amazing relationship. Like, for 40 plus years, it wasn't like that. And because he lowered this, right? Mm-hmm. And I've seen it in my own life and my own marriage. Like, it doesn't take two. Like, my marriage is completely different, just like yours. And it's not because Ben has done the work, but what's happened is I'm not like this all the time. So then his nervous system isn't like this all the time. Like, we were just like this, and our nerve systems were in such states of stress that all there was fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Right? That's why
ripple effect.
The silent treatment, or the knockdown, drag down, fights, or whatever form that took on. And now there's just not that need. So I just want to encourage anyone that's watching that has a relationship like that, whether that's with your spouse or somebody else, like, take care of you and make sure that your well-being feels safe inside, and you'll be shocked at how people around you respond, because your nerve system isn't like firing off theirs. Have you found that to be true yourself?
Absolutely. It's a ripple effect.
Yes.
It's a ripple effect.
And when we don't feel safe, then those around us. And even if it's not words, the mirror neuron stem and all four lobes are constantly picking up, like we think communication are the words that we say, but that's only 7% of communication. 55% is body language and 38% is tone. So the words that someone says are way less than all of the other things. And so, Christy, we've coached together on and off for obviously decades.
Right.
How has that shaped the way you navigate vulnerability and truth telling as a leader?
Well, the masks are off, right? And I guess I look at leadership completely different now.
Oh, okay. How do you see it differently?
I want to collaborate more instead of the mask of authority and do it my way. And this is the way it's got to be done. Like, I don't know. It's an illusion. The stronger and harder you hang on, it's an illusion, the strength illusion, right? I definitely see from our coaching, like your style has definitely evolved.
Yes.
Yes, your style has definitely evolved. Mm-hmm. And it's much more meaningful now, authentic. Like masks are off, gloves are off. And it's much more bring people in closer, that you feel safer. Once you create a safer environment, then people want to be part of that. Like it's almost a community, like I was, telling you earlier, down here we have friends and I feel like it's a nice community. It's a safe community.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
what you would want to run a company or move out of state, meet people. You want other people to feel safe so that they can be vulnerable and tell you what's going on in your life, and you're not there to judge and not make them feel insecure. Just let them say what they got to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's so cool to hear. Collaboration. I don't know if that's a word that you've used a lot.
No.
In your career. So it's cool. Garrett Gunderson says all the time that collaboration is the currency of the future. Right. And if you think about it, it's because wealth is this. It's relationship capital plus mental capital. And really relationship capital even more than mental capital.
I was going to say relationship is probably what, how they say the 80-20 rule, that's probably more 90-10.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that requires collaboration, right? That requires listening more than we speak. That requires giving and taking. That like collaboration is just such a beautiful thing. And then when we see that collaboration is even in our personal lives with our spouse and with our children and with our friends, it really just opens up all kinds of opportunity. So let me ask you this. What made you say yes to the Women's Rejuvenation Retreat in Sedona?
Okay, a couple things. I've always wanted to go to Sedona.
Okay.
So I was like, ooh, and then it's your event, and I know how your events are. And then when I read about it, okay, it's rejuvenation, women's retreats. Maybe you have something like mothers, if you have issues with, mothers. I'm a mom. I don't want to have any issue with my kids. I do have some things with my mom that we're working through. So, I want to hear from other women. What do you do? What do you experience? What are you feeling? So that I'm not the only one that has these issues. I'm not the only one. There's more of us out there. And when you have something like this, it's going to be a community of people experiencing the same thing. Well, that's where more ideas can come from, more creativity, more experience, more compassion, and I think growth. I think that's going to be a big weekend of growth for all the women who are going.
I agree. I'm super excited. And, I haven't even met half of the women that are coming.
People just want a community. That is, we're so starved in today's society for community. Authentic. And that's what people want. Authentic and safe and safe community. And so that's what people are craving.
Yes.
Or on their phones, I want in person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm super pumped at it. And like even just coming together,
Raise
as
your vibration.
huh?
More people that are there that we're
Yeah.
all experiencing, it raises our vibration of healing.
Yeah. And for those of you watching, when you see me post the next one, make sure you jump on it quickly. This one sold out in 3 weeks. So like Christy just said, like this is what we're all
Yeah.
craving,
Mm-hmm.
high level entrepreneurs. We're craving that step away. We're craving that opportunity to like no one's calling on me. Like,
Right.
no one needs anything from me. And even those conversations, you and I have talked about this a lot. Like there's, it's beautiful to see, in my opinion, moms having more community now than I think what we had. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't talk about nursing and we didn't talk about things as much as they talk about it now. But
Mm-hmm.
something I've noticed though is it seems this phase of our life there hasn't been discussion and no one's led those discussions yet. Like the young moms have been leading those discussions about, being a new mom and pregnancy and immediate postpartum,
Mm-hmm.
but the menopausal side and, being mom to an adult children and grandma and just like how much culture has changed.
Yes.
We're not having those conversations that I've noticed. And
We got to make sure we have those there.
yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. Like raising adult children or being there for your adult children is way different when they're young. Like their problems are little when they're
Well, that's
young.
what they say, bigger kids, bigger problems.
Yeah. And the world is different for them now. Like our son works 3 jobs to take care of his family so his wife can stay home with
Mm-hmm.
their 3 little boys. And my daughter works full time and is raising 2 babies, and her husband works and she's taking 10 credits for her master's degree. Like just like there's just so much now, and not that we all didn't work hard back then, but it's just different.
It's different.
The stress now is just so different.
They're so much more stressed. I see it in my 21-year-old, and I'm like, I'm always, is there anything I can do to help? And no, mom, I got to figure this out. And you're like, but I'm here for you.
Right.
But you and I, when we grew up, our parents, we didn't go to them. We didn't tell them that we had a breakup or anything. They were like, rub some dirt on it.
Rub some dirt on it. That is true. Ben and I are always talking about that. About when he was a little boy, his mom send he and his brother outside at 5 and lock the door for the day. And, they lived in Oregon, and he was like, yeah, I would just go fish in the rivers. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, wasn't she?
Nobody was checking where they find my iPhone or 360. Where are they?
Yeah.
We didn't have that. You'd be gone. You'd hear the whistle or the light would go on the house, and you're like, okay, it's time to go home, I guess.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that's how we were raised, but nowadays we're all like helicopter parents. And I think it's even worse. It's really cool. I see one of our really good friends, they're pregnant with baby number 2, and their little girl is almost 2. And instead of saying, be careful, Rachel will say to her, watch your feet, which is way better than like putting in her little girl's
and insecurity or something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, or just like pay attention. I'm like, oh, I didn't have that. I wish I would have had that.
All this good stuff happens now.
I know. Yeah. and they survived anyway. So as we wrap this up, what are you most excited about for our trip to Sedona here in a couple?
I can't wait for the long discussions out by the pool. Maybe some fires. I just hope whoever comes is very open and just lets everything go. Like no one's here to judge.
Yeah.
Remove the insecurities, remove the masks. Nobody's judging. We're not in competition.
Yeah.
Let's go through this weekend and hopefully develop some really great friendships where I'm with you the rest. I'm with you I'm on this journey with you.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Lifelong friendships. They're so valuable. And even if you don't talk on a regular basis, like obviously you and Robin are our women together, and she and I could
Yes,
go.
thank you, by the way.
Yeah, she and I could go 8 months, or you and I not talking. Yes. You pick up and just like it's like there was nothing lost. And I just love those kind of friendships. So thank you all for joining us today, Dr. Christina. Thank you so much for joining me. Give your family a big hug for me, and for all of you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless you. See ya.
Yes, see ya.